Good morning guys, welcome back to Petrol Heaven 67. If you are one of the older subscribers, you have known the channel as Post Club UK. We've now changed up the name of the channel to allow me to bring some more content to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about this, my 997.1. I have now owned the car for 5 years. So we're going to do a 5-year walkthrough video of all the upgrades, the mods and the work I've had to do and the costs related to the car in the last 5 years. So we'll get the car off the trickle charger, we'll pull it outside, we'll give you a little walkthrough of what we've done in the last 5 years. There you go guys, I've pulled the car out the garage now. This is my 2005 997 Gen 1 3.8 Carrera S. I've now owned the car for 5 years. We're going to talk you through a little bit about what we've done over the last 5 years to the car, which is quite a lot. And we're going to start off with the paintwork. When I bought the car, I'll be honest, I bought the car with my heart and rather my head. And the car wasn't anywhere in this condition, so we started looking for a painter. The car wasn't in terrible condition, but just wasn't up to the standard that I was looking for. So we joined some post clubs and I was eventually put on to a guy called Tyrone Fuller. Tyrone owns Riviera Auto Body up in a little village called Elmsworth, I think, if I remember right, up near Oxford. And after spending some time talking to Tyrone, we decided that Tyrone was the man for the job. So the car went in for a full bare metal respray, glass out. The car was painted 5 years ago now, and as you can see, 5 years on, the paintwork is still in fabulous condition. I do look after the car. The car's just been ceramic coated a few weeks ago. So that was my first big expense. We'd paid just over £20,000 for the car 5 years ago. Probably when 997s were at their lowest point in the market. So the car had done 97,000 miles when I bought it. So it had done a few miles. It was by no means a garage, couldn't have been used. It had lived in Scotland. I traced a little bit of the history back. The car had lived in Scotland. So the car went up to Riviera Auto Body and it was away for about 4 months where it was fully painted. And you can see the efforts and the time and the money that's been spent in the paintwork. The car is now near immaculate in regards to the paintwork. While the car was up there, we found a few issues with the front radiators, the small radiators for the aircon. One of them wasn't in very good condition, so we changed that. We changed out a fan. We also sealed the underside of the car totally while the car was up there. So the car was totally sealed underneath as well. And then Tyrone rebuilt the car, and this is the result of a lot of money. As you can see in the background of my daily driver, my Audi A5, and we'll do a little video on that later on. But as I say, we have changed the name to Petrol Heaven 67 to allow us to bring you a bit more content. So if you could, as always guys, you smash that subscribe button and like the videos. We're trying to push the channel. We're trying to get things moving on the channel now. We've invested in some microphones and a few bits and pieces to try get the quality of the videos a little bit better for you. So really from there we got the car painted. We got to sort of get the car the way I wanted it to look. And that's where I then looked for a mechanic to start looking after the car for me. And I found a guy called Kev Waterhouse. So Kev has now looked after the car for 5 years. Now runs a company called JK Automotive. The car's going up to see Kev next weekend. We'll be doing a video on that, a full video. It's going up for its yearly MOT and it's going up for a service. The car's only done 1,000 miles since last year, so it's not done a lot of mileage. So from there we sort of started to look at the mechanicals of the car. one of the first things we did was we renewed the brakes all round. So brand new discs. The discs are still in the new condition. No lips on them. I say the car doesn't really go out in the rain. So we done the discs. We then decided to put some springs on the car. When I put the springs on the car and we removed the shocks, we found that the shocks were badly corroded at the top. The car had just passed an MOT, but the mounts right at the very top, I don't know if we can see them in here. No, the car's that low now. You can see the new springs in there, but the mounts at the very top of the shockers, they just sit in this area here. They were badly corroded, so it was a phone call to the wife, unfortunately, to explain that we had to spend I think it was another £2.5 grand on some new shocks to go with the cheap spring uprate I thought I was going to do. But by this time we were getting quite deep into the car as well, and this was becoming my forever car. I probably won't sell this one. I've done that much work to it now that I'll probably hold on to it. So we done the springs. We put new suspension on it, new PASM. We kept it the original. Post PASM. I didn't want to lose that on the car, so I've kept that on the car. We put some eye-back springs on it just to lower the car down. And then we started looking for some wheels for the car. I've still got the original lobster claws for the car, but I get so many comments on these wheels. These are Judd alloys. The back wheel's got a lovely deep dish. It's quite hard to pick them up. I get so many comments on these wheels. They just really they complement the car really well, these alloys. It took me quite a while to find them, and Judd have been fantastic. I've done some stuff for Judd now. Send them up some videos and some pictures of the car. So we've got the wheels on the car, we had the stance looking right, and I really still wasn't happy with the car at this point. It wasn't aggressive enough for me. So we then went looking on the internet for some side skirts and a front splitter for the car. One of the things I should point out that this is an original front bumper, a 997.1 front bumper, but you can see the slats. There's usually a slat in here that goes from there to there. And while Tyrone had this car in the paint shop, he cut that out. And he plastic welded everything, and it just gives the car a lot more, one, modern, and two, aggressive look to it. But as I say, still wasn't overly happy with the way the car was looking at this point. And that's when I phoned up Tyrone again. We went and sourced some side skirts for the car, which I think look absolutely fantastic now. They just give the car a bit of width, and obviously the offset of the new wheels have pushed the wheels right out to the edge of the arches as well, and it just gives the car a better stance. We also fitted a front splitter to the car, which I've sadly taken a little nick out of, but that's all part and parcel of owning the car and driving it. So we'll get that sorted this year. So from then, the car began to look quite nice. I wasn't really happy with the front fog lights. They looked really dated. So again, went searching and come up with these LED lights, front and back. We've also done the lights on the back of the car. It gives the car a sort of more 997.2 look. I've also debadged the back of the car as well. I had a 911 badge here and it never really done nothing. It looked lost at the back of the car, so we've took that off. So for you that probably know the 997, they come with chrome tailpipes, and we just couldn't find anywhere to do the tailpipe. So eventually we went searching for a place, and we found a place that actually de-chromed the tailpipes for me, and we had these powder coated black. So it's another nice touch just to add to the finish of the car. You can see my reflection in the car. Look how nice that paintwork is. So we've done those in black, and again it was just the look I was looking for. I'm thinking about painting these wheels or having them repainted, and I'm thinking about going for a really dark candy red, just to change it up. The car's looked this way now for a good few years, and I'm just thinking about being a little bit different. So we'll have a little think about that, and we'll see where we go over the course of this year. So other little pieces we've done to the outside of the car, you may have noticed the car had a rear window wiper on it, which I absolutely hated. So that came off. There's a lovely little black piece underneath here that is the same colour, it's the same finish as the glass, but with a little Ace London sticker on there, so we've stuck that on there at the back. And I think the car looks really, really clean at the back now. I just think I don't think you can get that. I have been toying with the idea of putting a Jackamon spoiler on the back of this car, and I had spoke to Tyrone about the other week about bringing the car up. If there is one online for sale, but I look at the back of the car now, and I just don't know if I want to put the Jackamon spoiler on the back. The Jackamon spoiler is more the original sort of 1980s whale tail style, but I'm not too sure if I want to go down that road. I keep thinking yes, and then I keep thinking no. When I sort of step back and look at the car, I'm beginning to think the car's almost perfect at the back now, and I don't really want to ruin it. So for there, we got the windows tinted at the back, so with a nice dark tint done at the back. And for the sides tinted as well. I know a lot of guys don't like tints, but I like my tints. I've not done the front glass yet because there is a little bit of scratching on the glass. You can see there, it's one of the things I've not got around to doing yet. Glass isn't too expensive. I think it's about £300 for both sides, and that's something I'll be doing in the next few months or so. Other little touches we've done in the car: we painted the wing mirrors black, and we painted the roof black as well, just to modernise the car a little bit. We've also tinted the front headlights, and we've also tinted the front fog lights as well. These came originally tinted at the original colour, so we've tried to match the colour, which we've done quite well, just to give the car a little bit more of a stealth look at the front. So that's really it for the outside of the car, guys, in regards to what we've done. As I say, we've done a lot of work underneath in regards to suspension, but we'll get to all that. We'll get to that probably next week once we take the car up to Kev to get its MOT and its yearly service. We'll get it up in the ramp and we'll give you a little look. So let's move to the important part of the car now. Let's move to the engine. Let's go have a little look at the engine bay. Right, guys, so here it is, the heart of any 911. This is the 3.8S Porsche engine. It is putting out 355 brake horsepower. And the good thing about my car, it has one very, very, very important sticker. This was done before I bought the car. So this car had suffered from bore score at 70,000 miles. And this car has been to Hartech. So the engine was rebuilt in 2014 at 68,000 miles. So the car's had a full engine rebuild. As you can see, I keep my engine bay nice and clean as well. I am a bit of a fanatic when it comes to cars and how cars should look and how I keep my cars clean, right down to painting the little bolts black because they were all looking rusty. So engine wise, what have we done to the car? To be honest with you guys, this is one part of the car I've not had to spend a lot of money. Yep, it's been serviced. One of the main things I had to do was to fit a brand new alternator to the car. I started to have a few problems, and then one day the alternator failed, so Kev came all the way down from where he lived, about 2 hours away, drove down and fitted a new alternator for me. So that is the sort of only sort of maintenance part that I've had to do in the car since I got it, was as a brand new alternator. We put a brand new alternator in it. Oil comes out the car once a year regardless of the mileage. We'd done the coil packs last year. I got a real fright when I took my coil packs out because the car was actually running really well. And then I said to Kev, look, let's change the coil packs and the spark plugs, because I wasn't sure when they had been done. We went ahead and we got some new ones. I do have them in the garage, the old ones, and they were in a hell of a mess. So the coil packs come out, new spark plugs put in. And that's basically it, guys. The engine in this car has been absolutely brilliant. It's never given me 1 ounce of trouble. It's just serviced once a year. There's new oil put in the car, regardless of the mileage. You know, new air filter, new oil filter, and that's it. It runs really well. It's laying in the garage most of the time during the winter, and fingers crossed, it's been really good. You know, now the engine's been rebuilt with Hartech. It's got about 40,000 miles on the Hartech rebuild. But the car has been absolutely flawless engine wise since I got it. Needed a bit of work and a bit of love to get it in this condition and get it this clean. I've spent a lot of hours in this engine bay. And the one thing about the Porsche engine bay, it's tucked away. There's not really much that you can keep clean, but you can do your best. And I like to have my cars looking in tip-top condition, whether it's the engine bay, whether it's the underside of the car, or whether it's the paintwork. We try our best to keep it looking nice. Right, let's move on and let's take a little delve into the inside of the car, where I have done probably most of the work since I bought my 997 5 years ago. Right guys, part 3. So we're now focusing on the inside of the 997. This is probably where I've spent my most time. If I had been a little bit more cleverer with YouTube, I would have done some videos on this while I was doing this. I have had the whole interior out this car. I've done the whole lot myself. I stripped every single piece out. We've had to strip the interior out mainly to do the seat belts, and we'll get to these in a minute. We've had the seat backs painted. So one of the first things I did when I got the car, I wasn't happy with the steering wheel. And the steering wheel, the gear knob and the handbrake lever, they all went off to get retrimmed. We had the steering wheel made slightly thicker. This was sent up to Royal Steering Wheels. They've done an absolutely fantastic job, matched the sea blue leather absolutely perfectly as well. So again, a bit like the spoiler, I've been sort of humming about putting a McCann steering wheel into this, the new modern steering wheel with a round airbag. Sometimes I think, yeah, I need to do it, and sometimes I think, no, I want to keep it. I want to keep the original steering wheel. I like it. It has been retrimmed. It's new leather. It's fresh. As I say, there has been done a lot in this interior, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that just now. So use of who probably own 997s, especially the Dot 1, will know that this area here is painted in a rubberized paint from the Porsche factory, and through time it goes soft, and it's the same with the back seats as well. It goes soft and it scratches and it becomes quite a mess. When I was stripping the car apart to get some work done, which included putting the silver seat belts in, the silver seat belts were done by Colour Concept, and I just think they go absolutely brilliantly with the blue. A lot of people say, oh, do red, but no, I wanted to be a little bit different. But I think, as you can see, the contrast of the blue and the silver, they go absolutely brilliantly together. But back to the centre console. So we had the centre console stripped out, we had it sent up to the body shop, and we had it painted. A lot of people paint these the colour of the car, and it's not for me. It's just a thing I didn't like. I didn't think it looked factory, and it's just something I didn't like. It's each to their own, but for me, it was a big no-no. I wanted something to be a bit different. So we searched and we searched and we searched, and we've come up. I don't know if the camera's just doing this justice. This is actually a citron colour, believe it or not. It's a citron blue, and it's been sealed in satin. So it just this looks factory. It does look factory in the car, and a lot of people comment on the car. As you can see, we've done round the radio. We stripped out the aircon unit as well. This was all done. So it was all painted and it's all been sealed in satin. And this car has the sports seats. Just push that back as well. Again, these back seats were in an absolute mess. So both seats, the backs, the hard backs have been repainted in this blue colour. These are now absolutely mint. It's a lovely, lovely finish, and it just contrasts the blue. You can see the contrast there. Absolutely perfect. I absolutely love the inside of this car now. It's hard to believe that this car's 18-year-old inside. So let's climb inside and let's run you through one or two other things that we've done to this 997.1. Right guys, we're inside the car now. We're inside my 997.1. We're continuing this video of my 5 years of ownership and the amount of work that has gone into this car. As you can see, we've upgraded the head unit. I upgraded this about 3 years ago before Porsche brought out the new 997.1 upgrade, the PCM upgrade. Personally, I think the new PCM is way overpriced. It's £1,600. It's way overpriced for me. This unit cost me £700 and I fitted it myself. Totally wireless, so it's Bluetooth wireless, no cables needed. Jump in the car and my phone connects to it straight away. So that was the other upgrade that we done to the car. And a lot of you will be noticing infamous buttons for the temperature and the fan control. And as you can see, these have been redone. They were sent away to a little company up in England somewhere. The name of them eludes me just now. But these are not stickers. They're done as good as factory. They're painted back on again. Don't know how they do it, but they do a fantastic job. Those were in quite a mess in my car. But it just brings everything together in the car as well. A couple other things we had done when we were getting the paintwork done. The door handles, they were looking a little bit sketchy, a little bit sorry for themselves. 15 years of wear on them, so we decided to keep them the same factory silver, and the body shop painted those for me as well. So I've had those done on both sides of the car. Those look nice and fresh now, but you just got to love the inside of this 997. You know, this car is really fresh inside with all the new leather trim that we've done. And we've got a few little tricks up our sleeve we've done as well. Again, this is the way I think. I've tried to modernise this car. So in the glove box here, we have, what do you think that is, guys? Yep, it's a charging mat. So quite simply, come into the car, open up there, I throw my phone onto the charging mat, connects wirelessly to the Bluetooth and the headset, and it's in there charging. So I fitted that myself. Again, another nice little touch that I've done just to try bring the car and make the car a little bit more modern. You can see we've got the silver seat belts in the back. One of the things I've tried to get fixed is these back seats, but I've been told it's a huge job, so I will just try wait until I find a set. I think it's more sort of sun damage. You can see the one on the passenger side is worse than the one on the driver's side. But inside, it is a really nice place still. Lovely headliner in the car. It's still in absolutely brilliant condition. It is a lovely place to be, this 997. The seats for an 18-year-old car are still in absolutely fantastic condition. At the point where I had took the seats out of the cars to get the backs taken off, I had actually sent the driver's seat away. The bolster was in absolutely fine condition, but the stitching in the car, if we can just show you that, the stitching just began to show a little bit of sign of wear and tear. So we sent this away, and we had the stitching matched, and we had that bolster restitched, but the bolster itself was in fine condition. So other things we have done in the car, another little trick that I've done is down here. So I have installed, I'll just switch that on, installed a little voltmeter, and I don't know if the camera will focus on that, because that's also a USB charging point, and it's a little voltmeter, so I can check how the battery's doing as well. Just keep that switched off, we keep a little cover on it. Yep, so we've done quite a lot of work to the car. As you can see, we've got a little charging point in there as well. But this finish is absolutely lovely. It has totally modernised the car for me. If we've got the key, we can just stick on the ignition and just have a look at the mileage. As we can see, the car has now done 114,000, so it's just coming up for 115,000. Other thing for me is my car has now been registered with Porsche as a, we can get it turned around, classic. So this car's about as far away from a classic as you could possibly be. So there you go, guys. There is the video on my 997.1 2005 3.8S Carrera. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please smash the subscribe button. We're going to bring you more content. We've changed the name of the channel, as I keep saying, to Petrol Heaven 67. This is to allow me to bring some more content to you guys. We've got some things in the pipeline. We've got some cars lined up to do some videos on. I'm going to be doing some test drives of some cars. Got a nice Evo 8 in the pipeline that we're going to be looking at, just fresh out the body shop. So I'm looking forward to getting a test drive in that one. Still got some stuff to talk about the car, but we'll catch up with you next week. We're taking the car up next week for its yearly MOT and its yearly service. We're going to document that as well. I'm going to give you a little view of the underside of the car as well, show the work we've done to the underside of the car as well. Once again, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Please smash the subscribe button. We are determined to make this channel work and bring you some great content. So that maybe take a bit of time. But until the next one, guys, stay safe, enjoy your bank holiday weekend, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.